For us to start our Sunday morning. Look at this. Look at this one. Look at this one. Calm the anxieties of your heart. Calm the anxieties of your heart. What you have not yet attained is on the way. What you have not yet attained is on your way. Do not suffer in anticipation by giving in to depression because you lack what you do not even need. Scarcity can provide appreciation for people and things. Abundance often does the opposite. Learn to coexist with scarcity and solitude, and you will avoid the intoxication of the senses, the ecstasy of lust, and the headaches of ownership. You are what you make of yourself. You are what you make of yourself, and not what you possess or whom you are with. Amazing. The lessons of lack, right? So the lessons of when things are not the way we want, right? Nobody wants that, right? Everybody wants to have everything lined up. But unfortunately, the moments we learn the most spiritually, many times, is things don't go our way, right? Isn't it unfortunate? Yep. Let's get our prayer. So, Mother, Father God, Divine Creator, thank you very much for all that has been given to us. Thank you for this opportunity, for this moment of meditation, of calmness. Let us all together find ourselves with an open mind and an open heart as we find the strength we need to navigate life. Let us hear the voices that appeal to our calm, to our strength, to our balance, as we face the challenges that we chose to grow and become closer and closer to your light. Let us be always aware that you are with us, that there's a purpose, there's a meaning, because we have a life that never ends, ever. Master Jesus, the model, the example, inspire all of us in our journey and guide us every single day. And with that in mind, we ask permission to our mentors and guides to begin our Sunday morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, guys. We got the topic for today. We got the "My kingdom is not of this world" from Jesus, right? That passage of the gospel where Jesus was if you're familiar with the gospel, right? Interacting with the emperor, the representative of the Roman Caesar. No, what's the name of the guy? Forgot that. So the you know. But and he asked him, "Are you a king?" Right. So for Jesus, when he was about to be put to he was arrested and in the process of being taken to crucifixion in just a few days, right? And he said, my kingdom is not of this world, right? And that's so profound. And let's talk a little bit about that. But before that, the story that came to my mind, just to put things in perspective. And I don't know about you, I need things in perspective sometimes to understand it. I'm old enough, all right, to have been around where no smartphones were around, right? And for our kids, they don't understand it's a possibility, right? But I still remember I had my phone on me. I have mobile phones. I'm not that old, because I think if you go back even further, you might, be aware of a time where mobile phones were not that available. Right? We still have those, right? And but I remember when I started coming to San Diego professionally before we moved here, I would come here often for business, right? I would be sent out from Brazil to visit the office here in San Diego. And I remember it was a daring trip because I used to, I remember the first time I came here, I didn't know the place, right? And I would travel here and, I remember once I knew a path. I would print the maps of the city, right? And come and rent a car for all business related, right? I had to come to the office of the company, but I didn't know much. I was just like I'm from Brazil. My English was not even close to the one it is right now, and it's already not good. So imagine, and you're learning a new culture, a new place, right? So and I remember once I think there was a crash on the 5 freeway because it was in Rancho Bernardo, the office, right? And I had a time to get to a meeting, and there was a crash on the 15 freeway, like a truck, kind of tumble, right, and block 4 lanes or 5 lanes. That was the only path I knew. Everybody would call me because they could talk to me. No, just take a side road. I don't know. I cannot take a side road. I don't know. I only knew one path. I didn't know. Now I actually drive by. It's where I live now. I know every single corner, right? I live very close to that. But that day I was blind. I'm not going to take on the side road, right? I'm not going to say that because I don't know how to get there. And here in San Diego, if you guys know, there's no around the corner. You take a road and it twists and turns, and once I tried to find a hotel in I went to La Jolla. The name of the hotel was a Marriott La Jolla. It was all the way there in UTC, right? And I was lazy, didn't print the map, and I learned the lesson. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find a hotel. I was getting stressed, and and now we have the smartphones in our hands, right? Like, I don't know, 20 years later? I don't know about you guys. It's amazing. You just on the fly, you get a map. You know where the traffic is. You can even get to traffic timing, right? So you all have it. It's everybody has one of those, right? Because you don't even get those old phones anymore. You go to any phone, no matter how cheap it is, it's a smartphone. You get Google Maps, and it tells you the path, right? Where you're going. You can check everything. I think we sometimes say, it's amazing how many things happen to us, how much resources we have available to us. And isn't it better, right? Isn't it better when you know where you are? When you have an idea. It doesn't make it necessary. You still have to go to places. You still have to drive. You still have to go to your work. You still have to do it. But how much information, how much just knowing things beforehand helps you on your journey, right? And I know many people think about the gospel as religion. Many people see Jesus as this religious figure, right? But what I'm going to propose to you is that I don't think we should look at the gospel as that. The gospel, the way I understand now, is just a recipe for life. Is a Google map for spirituality. It's not like, love thy neighbor as like a map or something that's religious, profound or something. No, it's a simple recipe for your happiness, for your growth, for you to have a better life. So when Jesus talks about my kingdom, not this world, what he's telling us is that I know it doesn't look like right now. We don't feel like that because we think this is all that is, right? I don't know about you, but I feel I can only think about myself as this body, as this experience I'm having right now. I'm experiencing the world right now through my eyes, through my hands, through my body, right? And this is the most powerful experience we have right now. We wake up every morning, and that's where we are, right? But what is the gospel telling us? Is like, this is not what you are. What you truly are is your mind. You truly are your mind. And here's the deal. Your mind right now is attached to a body. Your mind right now is stuck in this body for your own good. For your own good. God is not punishing us to attaching us to a body right now. And why? Because we have not educated our minds yet. Our minds, we don't realize the power of our minds yet. We're learning the basics of how powerful our minds are and how we control them, how we direct our minds in the direction we want, right? The real challenge of this experience is really us learning to channel the energy of our minds into something in a direction we find appropriate. That's the whole deal what we're going through right now, right? And that's the message of the gospel. The message of the gospel is giving you the direction. Okay, when you channel your mind consciously in the direction of becoming a loving being, you are on the freeway to being a happy person, a complete whole being, right? That's what God wants us to be, because you will achieve that faster, right? It's difficult because that path will actually lead us to let go of some things, to transform ourselves, to not be let go of our passions, and we all have them, right? We all have attachments to things in life, right? It's so sad, but we do have, right? It changes. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different thing, right? But we all do. We all have, our particular ways of doing things. Don't you guys have your habits? We all have your habit. We all have habits, right? We're creatures of habits, right? We all have them, right? And as we grow, we will notice that some of our habits help us, others don't, right? Other habits hold us back, right? Some of the values we have, right, hold us back. Others don't, right? And that's the point. That's what we're going through right now. Most likely, each one of us right now is facing a life with the characteristics of the most important lessons for us, right? You have probably the family you need. You have probably the friends you need. You have probably the work you need to test you, to propel you in the area most important to you, to your growth. And when we become aware of spirituality, when you become aware of the gospel, does that change the fact that those challenges are still there? No. You still have to go through them. But it gives you the map. Gives you the map. Gives you the map to succeed. What if I tell you that 50 years from now, maybe 60, maybe 70 years from now, we're going to be talking the same way we are right now? You're going to be as alive as you are right now. You're going to be as you are right now. but free from the bound of the body. Some of you may be a little terrified, right? Because you don't know exactly what it is. But if I tell you, that's going to be much better than it is now. Because it's going to be your mind free of the body. Why is it so important to do the exercise? It's important because it puts things in perspective to what we're going through right now. If you look back into all your problems 7 years from now, when we are not here anymore, right? And you look back to the problems we have right now, the problems are still relevant, but what's the size of your problems? What will be the size of your problems? It's a deep question I have to ask. Right? Being a parent is one of the most beautiful lessons, I think, because you learn so much in a sense. Your kids teach you so much, especially if they're not mature. Some people have mature kids. Good look for you. Good for you. I mean, you're evolved spirits, and you might have mature people around you, right? I don't deserve those. I have the best teachers. I have immature kids as well, right? And so they teach you so things that you think simple, right? Why don't you do this? Why don't you clean your room? Why don't you clean your room, right? So having a teenager kid, just to have a teenager kid clean your room. I got a tremendous lesson yesterday because I asked my older one to clean his room. Mom and I tried to do it, and it was not easy. We get mad. We just like, why don't you just put underwear somewhere, right? Underwear somewhere. Like, why don't you do that, right? So then we get mad. We don't know how to deal with this, and we make a big deal. It's a big problem. So my mind is like, oh my goodness, I have to educate this kid. How this kid's gonna live the rest of his life in a trash can? So he can't. You just have to organize himself a little bit. And in my mind, this is the big problem, right? Yesterday he got crazy, and he cleaned all his room, clean everything. He got even detergent, and took all the stains off his table. The room is amazingly clean. Nobody expected that, right? We didn't expect, right, that he was, Mom, we were not as rough as we were in the past. We were lighter, but still a little rough on him. And he gave us a lesson. So he actually was touched and did the work. And I was like, how many? If I had screamed less, like the million times I told before, wouldn't we have achieved this earlier? Maybe if I had been less mad and not making a big deal out of it, this could have happened earlier. So this is simple things in life, right? How many times we're just hammering our problems the same way, like just like because that's so big for us right now. My goodness, this problem has to be solved now. And we take the perspective, and then we take the perspective like, is this really that important that I should put this much energy in this right now? Maybe it is. Maybe it's an important problem, but then you have the calmness and the energy to deal with that, right? But in many cases, we put a lot of energy in problems that are not really that big of a deal. Sometimes they are, but in a minority. Right? How many times, because we don't have the Google Maps of spirituality, right? We spend so much energy in things that are not going to be even matter to us. Just a little bit ahead. So that's the exercise. That's the exercise of the gospel. That's why when Jesus told us, can you imagine a person coming here and saying, my kingdom is not of this world? We're all here, crazy, doing our stuff and trying to get things done. And this person comes and says, I'm not even from this world. I'm here. I'm here with you. I'm working with you, but this is not where I'm from. This is not where we're going. And that's what he told us. So here's the problem. Our kingdom is not of this world either. Everything's going to be behind. Everything we're going to build here will stay here. We're not. We're going somewhere else. Having that perspective may make will make a huge difference. Should make a big difference in the way we live our lives. That's it we have for today. Let's prepare ourselves for meditation.